So hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the lecture 4 of the series Kubernetes 0 to Hero. So in this video we will talk about Kubernetes probes. Okay. So probes, like what are probes? Probes are like in general term English, they are like some connecting wires, right? There are some connecting wires to something, right? So what are probes in Kubernetes? Probes or Kubernetes are mechanisms through which the cluster or your kubelet component of the master node checks the status of the containers. Like in the previous video we discussed about there are various status or the stages of the pods, various stages of the container, running state, terminated state, succeeded, okay. So these probes check that. These are used by kubelet components to check the status of the containers. Okay, why we need it? Oh, there is very important thing is because let's say you deployed your container, your application is running. Okay, means you see on the console or you check the status, it is running, it is showing the it is Kubernetes is showing nothing error. Means in the you say it is green status, it is working, but if it is not showing any error, does it mean it is working application wise? It may be like inside here your application is running and here you got some exception, anything occurred, exception occurred, or you some application is there that you are connecting to some database for loading the data and your database is corrupted, or you provided the wrong password, not able to load the database, so something like that. Okay, some error occurred application wise, so your container will not say failed status, it will always say it is running, but you will not get any output application wise, it will not be running. Okay, so how do you check these statuses? So these are checked by the probes. So basically there are three kinds of probes. Okay, first is the liveness probe, second readiness probe, and third is startup probe. Okay, so first we will discuss about this start liveness probe. Okay, so what is a liveness probe? Okay. So liveness probe is a probe that used by the kubelet component, or we can say that is used by the Kubernetes to continuously check the status of the container, right? And if the important thing is, if the container is failed, if the container is in failed state, it restarts the container again. Okay, you you see the this thing here, right? This is how we define the liveness probe in our application. This shows it is liveness probe http cat, and this is health, this is path means this is one of the API, this is one of the API that is running in your running in your application or running in container, that is running inside container. This is one of your application APIs. Okay, you decided this can be any path, you decided that if this API is accessible, then my application is running. That is dependent on the user, that if this application this API is running, then it would mean that application is running, that everything is fine. If we got some error, like if we get this and if we got 200 status, then it means my application is running. But if you got any other status 401 or anything 500 not found, then it would mean that application is not running. Then our liveness probe would fail, and it would ask our Kubernetes environment to rerun the container again. Okay, so this is the path, this is the port that application is running. Initial delay is 3 seconds, periods is 5 seconds. This means at how much frequency the Kubernetes will check. Period seconds means after every 5 seconds it will check the status of the container. Okay, so this is liveness probe, means we check the status of the container, we define one API that if this is accessible, everything is fine. Okay, now will go to the second is readiness probe. Okay, okay, so what is the use of readiness probe? We already have liveness probe that checks the status of the application. Okay, but why we need it? Because let's say your application starts running, it is running, you define the liveness probe also, and liveness probe is also successful, liveness is also successful, but then also can you directly okay, you find that liveness is successful, so can you can you uh, immediately transfer your traffic to this pod? Can you immediately transfer the traffic to pod? No. Something needs to be done, right? There is always some delay. Like your application start, you can't suddenly immediately start the traffic. There needs to be some delay. Some program needs to be executed in between so that it start accepting the traffic, right? So to handle that case, like your application is running but it can't accept the traffic, it needs some scripts to be executed or something so that it start accepting traffic. So that case is handled by readiness probe. Okay, so here again, this is readiness probe, http get ready is again is one of the API that is implemented, that is running inside your application, that is running in your app. Okay, this is port 8080. Initial delay 5 means once your application container starts, after 5 seconds it will check the ready status. Okay, and then it period 5 seconds means after every 10 seconds it will check the status of the readiness probe. If the readiness probe is successful, then it will start sending the traffic. So its main use is for determining whether a traffic can be sent to this pod, right? The main task is traffic determination. Like if this is success, then we can send the Kubernetes can send the traffic to this pod. Otherwise, it will mark the unready state. Now the last one is this last one is third, and this is startup probe. Okay, so what is the use of this? Like we already have two probes, liveness probes, which continuously check the status of the application at particular time interval. Readiness probe, what it will do, it will check the whether Kubernetes can send the traffic to this pod. Now where it would fit is where we can fit this startup probe. Okay, so the main use case is you have application, right? Now this is connecting to some kind of database. Okay, some database it is connecting, it is from database, it is loading some kind of data or executing some startup scripts. Like some startup scripts are there, it is executing, that would take time. Some loading of data can be there, loading of data from database, right? So these two tasks are there, these two tasks are, let's say, when or for first time only, like these are only for first time deployment. Like when you deploy your application first time, then these scripts, startup scripts and loading of data are needed, not in the frequent succession, only for the first time. So for the first time, these two, let's say these two processes are needed. You already have the liveness and readiness probe, but the point is liveness probe will check only the container is running or not. It will not check whether the startup scripts that are present are already executed, whether the data is being loaded or not. As you will see in the liveness probe, here initial delay was 3 seconds, period second, this after each 5 seconds it checks. Okay. But these are very small intervals. In 5 seconds some startup scripts might be large, can't execute it. You can increase the time, but it would neglect the use case of liveness probe. Like liveness probe needs to be checked very fast intervals, so you can't reduce this. Okay, so and readiness probe is there, but startup probe, you see these are threshold is 30 seconds and this is 10 seconds, these are time large time. Okay, so once the application starts, starter probe executes, it will check whether, so this API is there inside application, this will check whether all the startup scripts or all the data that it needs, everything, whatever resource that is needed for the application to run, it is loaded or not from the external resources. Okay, if it is done, then it would be success, otherwise it would be false. Okay, so this probe executes only one time for the first time deployment. After it is success, then we don't need this, then liveness probe would work. Like startup scripts executed, all the data loaded. Now from the subsequent time, we will check the status of the application with the liveness probe, because we again don't need to run the startup scripts, right? It is only for the one time. Okay. So this is all about the probes in Kubernetes. Hope you understood. Hope you are liking my content. So please, if you are liking it, please do hit the subscribe button. It gives me a good motivation so to create the next videos. Okay, thank you so much.